I can say that from this company to the company I was working at, Leslie, all of them were very gender equality supporters. I had no challenge in working with my colleagues or bosses for being a woman. I can assure I had equal opportunities. I was always treated respectfully. I am very proud in saying that all the people that I've worked at, 99% of them were men, all of them a gentleman, treating me equally and respectfully. My name is Luciana. I am graduated in business administration. I've specialized in international trade. Then I continued my studies with an academic master in which the research line was the indissociable concepts of ethics and sustainable developments within the corporations. And I've done this research on a pig iron producer in northern Brazil. And I had an immersion in their production processes, and I could understand that there's nothing more important currently than considering social and environmental issues within the whole production chain of steel. Within this period, I've also had an opportunity of taking a course at Beijing University in which I've studied Mandarin for 4 months. I can't say I speak Mandarin very well, but I've survived. And in the afternoons, I was taking also a 4 months business course in the same university. My purpose at that time was getting an understanding of cultural differences and having a truly immersion on the Chinese society so that I could conduct better our business. At that moment, China was bullish. We were talking on 2000, 2001. And whoever was in the steel business wouldn't think of a daily life without talking at least twice to China. So that's why I was dedicating my time in understanding these cultural differences, and that's the reason for which I dedicated my time in this period with my Chinese colleagues and friends. After my return from China, I joined Cargill, and our main market at that time for the Brazilian office was exactly China. So the experience I've had in this period I've spent in Beijing was just amazing for the success of our businesses. I was talking with my Chinese colleagues with a very personal tone. I could understand exactly the challenges, the hustles that there were between Brazil and China at that time, and we could overcome lots of difficulties. So it was just amazing having had the Chinese experience before joining Cargill. After some years in São Paulo office, I moved to Minneapolis, and I've spent some months there. Altogether were probably like 18 months in Minneapolis, an unprecedented business experience with the US team. At that time I was a trainee. I was starting my career, and I couldn't say anything other than a beautiful start with beautiful companies I'm very proud of. From this moment, I've moved to the Furco, where I've started as a trader, and I've spent 4 years working with the Furco. Then I moved to Global Steel Exchange, which is a company ahead of time. It was beginning of the century, and we were already talking about e-commerce. So it was an unprecedented experience I've had, building a system which could link producers, end users, logistic companies, insurance companies all together in the system. And it was truly a challenge to speak about this in the beginning of the 2000s. Nobody was ready actually to understand what we were talking about. If we were talking about this now, it's just like current day-to-day life. But actually we were far ahead of time, and the company was sold. I moved back to Brazil. At that time I was working in Chicago, and during this break I had from one job to the other, I moved to India, and I traveled through India. I had a cultural immersion which cannot compare with any other experience I could have in my life. Then I moved back to Brazil, and right after I arrived, I coincidentally was invited to join Chorus, a British company that had been recently acquired by Tata Steel, an Indian company. So that was just a big coincidence, an amazing coincidence. And yeah, I spent 5 amazing years working for Tata in Rio de Janeiro. Well, the purpose of a trading company is basically adding the dots between a producer and the end users. So we add value by bringing financial solutions, logistics, we offer insurance, inspection, and moreover we have a strong local presence. So basically a trading company operates with local offices, and this facilitates the whole business because not only communication flows is better, but information is on real time for having people in the multiple continents, in different countries. And we bring this, the whole package to the producers and at the same time to our customers and end users in the different countries we operate. Basically, I consider the activity of a trader as a very ethical and correct way of operating a very complex business, which is moving tons, thousands of tons of steel from one continent to the other. And I guess this is not only very challenging, but it's very exciting too. Many people question why and how I joined such a male-dominated business sector. And what I can say is that it was very natural for me to join the steel business, considering I was born in Belo Horizonte, which is a mining and steel region in Brazil. So my first job was in a trading company, and I was hired as a trainee. And I can say that from this company to the company I was working at, Leslie, all of them were very gender equality supporters. I had no challenge in working with my colleagues or bosses for being a woman. I can assure I had equal opportunities. I was always treated respectfully. I am very proud in saying that all the people that I've worked at, 99% of them were men, all of them a gentleman, treating me equally and respectfully. And since early 90s, when I joined this company, till now, I found a very respectful and equal environment for me to build my career. I've never had any issue. I can say that all the companies I passed through were truly gender equality supporters. I enjoyed the same opportunities my male colleagues had, and never I was treated in a way that I felt uncomfortable. So I can say that to me it has always been a pleasure working with this gentleman through all these countries I've worked at, having a fairly treatment, respectful and equal within all the companies I worked at, either with my suppliers, customers and colleagues. I think the future for women in this business will keep being like this. Opportunities are open to us, and it just depends on our effort and our dedication to the business. It is indeed demanding, it's time consuming, it requires a lot of effort, study and dedication. But I think women are here for that, we are ready for that. So I think we have a very beautiful future in this business sector. It's impossible to think on the steel business without considering the ESG agenda. Every part of the business is currently involved with these social, environment and governance issues. So we can think of the banking system, which restricts investments to companies who are not following social and environment rules. The ESG agenda is present in companies worldwide, and everybody involved on the steel business is clearly concentrated in developing new production processes which are more environmental friendly. So we have efforts in new technologies to produce steel with a carbon dioxide free. Corporations like Votorantim and Aperam in Brazil and many others, they are investing in natural reserves. Companies worldwide are investing in new technologies, in blast furnaces, in the raw material production and logistics, all of them aiming to reduce the carbon dioxide emissions. Here in Brazil, we have companies investing in eucalyptus forests, which offers a far more cleaner production process. We have hydrogen offering new possibilities on the steel making processes. We have electric cars. We have steel frame allowing a cleaner construction processes. So I see the steel business very engaged in the ESG agenda. Well, as a trader, I was used not to have a working schedule. We need to be online 24/7, and my family and friends, they had to get used to that. Sometimes over the weekends we had calls. In the middle of the night we had calls. We had to solve some issues and give answers or find solutions to our colleagues who were abroad, and no reason not to answer. We had to be there on time, and this is a main characteristic of our business, of being a steel trader. Balancing personal and professional life is very natural for us. We are accustomed to be available anytime, and I guess this is part of the excitement of being a steel trader. In the morning we talk with Japan, then we move to China, then we get to Middle East, Europe, until we get to US and South America. So what can be better than having contacts, connections and friends while we conduct ethical business for the success of our suppliers and satisfying the needs of our end users. Well, my main dream related to my career is basically concentrating all my efforts, knowledge, and continue studying in leaving a green and beautiful legacy for the new generations that are coming. I am Luciana Selmi-Dei, and I am very happy for having a career in the steel business.